My name is Sam Dean, and this is the Plug Your Holes channel on YouTube. And we're going to discuss 10 things you don't know about plugs. I'm not talking about butt plugs, I'm not talking about wine plugs, I'm talking about earplugs, not the kind that cut out noise, the kind that make you look cool. So anyway, 10 things you don't know about plugs starts now. Did you know that the oldest mummy ever found from 3300 BC had plugs? 00 plugs to be more specific. So, being that that's our most popular size, I'm sure you're just trying to be like Odyssey the Iceman. Ear stretching isn't just something here in America. It's not even just something from our generation or our time. It has actually historically existed on 6 of 7 continents, and until we find those penguins with plugs in Antarctica, it'll stay that way. Did you know that in Buddhist culture, having large ears is actually considered a sign of wisdom and good luck? Which is why a lot of people in Thailand and some other Asian countries stretch their ears. The funny thing is that the reason Buddha is actually depicted as having stretched ears is because it was a sign of wealth in his time, as he was a prince's son. The next time you're in line at Chick-fil-A or wherever you may be and somebody says stupid about something in your plugs, well, don't let them hang on them. The actual strength of your ears is only about 75 pounds, and so if you want to be able to keep your hearing things, don't let them pull on your ears too hard. Bondage tape is something that can be used in some erotic activities, but it also might be one of the best things for stretching your ears. Because it has no carcinogens or adhesives in it, you can actually stretch safely by wrapping it around your plugs once you get to a certain size. Just don't tell your parents that you have bondage tape in your room. The world's largest ears are double. But other than that, the world's largest ears that have been stretched and stretched naturally without any surgical assistance belong to a man named Kalakairi, who's a Hawaiian man. And last year, the Guinness Book of World Records recognized that 4.3 inches in diameter is the world record. Just to let you know how big that is, the screen on your iPhone 6 is 4.3 inches. But that doesn't even take into account the circular nature of how ears are stretched. So it's actually bigger. For example, if you were to buy a 32-ounce Wendy's pink lemonade, you could fit the entire thing through his ear with room to spare. That's some crazy. Did you know that most corporate jobs have stretching policies? Some don't allow it at all, but a lot do. I think a lot of it came down to the fact that so many people that were in the job market had stretched ears that they had to determine was an acceptable size. So places like Best Buy and McDonald's said, well, the size of a dime, which ends up being something like 1/2 inch or 9/16. But either way, it's pretty cool that something that probably would have kept you from getting a job at all at some point in time is now such a socially acceptable practice that major corporations have to sit down and have meetings with lawyers and discuss, well, how big should we let them stretch their ears? Kind of weird. Hoorah! If you were going to go join the military tomorrow, you might want to take out those plugs. The US military considers stretching of ears body mutilation and won't let you in. Well, I imagine if you take out your plugs, they're not going to say no based on the fact you have some just holes dangling from your ears, but I don't know. Anybody have any experience? Leave in the comments below. A lot of people already know this one, but a lot of people don't, so I'm going to tell you anyway. King Tut, King Tutankhamun, the boy king, had plugs. A lot of times you can see it in a sarcophagus, and a lot of times as it tours around the world to different museums, it's standing there right in front of us. But a lot of people don't realize that a king from 1300 BC had plugs. And that's pretty dang cool, especially when it made of gold. In recent years, the idea of stretching your ears has become so thought-provoking to the mainstream media that places like CBS, the New York Times, the Guardian, the Daily Mail, and the Washington Post have all done articles on the subject. Maybe it's just to educate all them older folks. And now you know 10 things about plugs that you didn't know before. But before you go, I have a question for you. When is stretching stretching? We all were born without our ears pierced. And we all had our ears pierced at one point. But if I got my ears pierced at 16, does 14 gauge mean I've stretched my ears? Does somebody with a dermal punch at 0 gauge have stretched ears? Discuss below. I will discuss with you on the video next week. And until then, be well. Whoa, don't go anywhere. Like the video below. It's going to help us make more of them. Likes are cool. And that's what every other person on YouTube says about their videos. So, like our damn video, man!